Hey, what's up, beat hackers? In this week's video, I'm going to teach you how you can steal drum rhythms from your favorite hip hop songs. Now, something that stops a lot of people getting into production is they feel like they don't know where to start. Well, often a good place to start is with the drums. And I'm here to tell you that actually one of the best places to start if you're brand new is by just copying other people's drum patterns. Now, when it comes to things like regular dance music, like a Calvin Harris song or a deadmau5 song, the drum pattern's usually pretty basic. It's usually a kick drum on every quarter note and a clap on every other, which would sound a little bit like this. But as soon as we go to like a hip hop song, you'll notice the drum rhythm is significantly more complicated. Let's have a listen to this. There's a lot more going on there. Now, what I've already done is I've already gone and ripped all the drums. So just so you guys know, this is what we're going to be achieving in this video today. This is what it sounds like. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to rip the drums from this track to produce your own amazing hip hop drum beat just like this. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay guys, so I know that a lot of the people who follow this channel are mainly DJs, but I'm here to tell you that the DJs who go really far are the ones who learn how to produce their own music as well. So I've made a little couple of videos recently just to teach you guys how simple, easy and fun it can be to start making your own dance music. If you want to learn anything more about this, just go and click on edmcoaching.com. There'll be a link directly below this video. You can go and watch some free live training where I'm currently teaching people how to get going if you want to start making your own dance music. Anyway, without further ado, let's just get straight into this tutorial. So, when it comes to hip hop music, there's 4 elements you need to be thinking of. There's usually a long, booming kind of 808 drum that sounds a bit like this. There's usually a shorter, punchier kick that would sound a bit like this. And then there's usually like a snap or a snare or something like that would sound a bit like this. And then there's always hi-hats as well. And what we're going to do is use these 4 elements to copy the drum rhythm in this existing track. Now, if you guys are wondering where I got my drum samples from, I got them all from a place called splice.com. Not sponsored by Splice, just think it's an awesome website. You can easily go and find all these samples there. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to deactivate all these lanes so we can't hear any of them and just activate the top lane up here. And we're literally going to look at the wave file, listen to it, and put in this long kick drum every time we hear a long kick drum play. So this is really good, and what this is going to get you good at is hearing different elements within a song. So let's have a quick listen. So there's one right at the beginning. You can hear that booming drum there. There's another one there. So we're just going to put it there. But it's shorter, that one. So we're going to make this a bit shorter. There's another one here that sounds a bit like that, and there's also a shorter one just before it as well. So I'm actually going to bring this along and put a shorter one just before it. And if in doubt, you can just zoom in a little bit closer. So there was 2 here. There's another one here. And it's almost like there's another one here that's been pitched down slightly. So we've now got our long kick drum in place. Cool, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and put in the punchy kick. Now, what you'll notice is there's like a dum-dum-dum, that kind of punchier kick going on. And we're going to do the exact same thing here. I'm probably just going to speed this bit up so you guys don't have to watch the whole thing. But I'm just going to go and put this in place. So let's do the first 2 together. So there's one here and one here. Next thing we're going to do, exactly the same thing with the snare. So we're just going to go and have a listen for the snares. So already, if we were to take away this track, we've got something that sounds a little bit like this. Okay, so that's starting to really take shape. So the next thing we need to draw in now are the hi-hats. Now these are by far the most complicated part of it. Now the one thing you can do to make hi-hats more obvious is to just do a high pass on the song so you can hear the hi-hats a bit clearer. Have a quick listen. You can hear the hi-hats a little bit better there if you just low pass everything so you just hear the highs. Now when it comes to this, my top tip is to have the draw mode on, so you can just draw in notes just by clicking in like this. And the other thing is you want to play around with this grid in the background. Your grid when you first start will probably be on quarter notes, which will look a little bit like this. And as you see, there's 4 notes to every section. That means it's in quarter notes. You want to put it into triplet mode by hitting Command and 3, which will put it into triplet mode. So now there's kind of 3 and then 3, okay? Most hi-hats are written in this kind of way when it comes to hip-hop music. The next thing you want to remember is Command 1 or 2 will make the grids bigger or smaller. Now this is really going to help. Now the next thing I also always make sure I do is actually hear the hi-hats, so I can hear exactly what's going on when I'm copying in these hi-hats. So let's have a quick listen and we're just going to copy it in. Now, the next thing you need to know is usually there's a bit more of a rhythm going on with these hi-hats. So if over here it says none, you want to come over to groove and select a different groove by just hitting this button here and going and selecting one of these hip hop grooves, which if you were to listen to them, it puts a slightly more rhythm on the hi-hat. So instead of sounding like this, let me just solo this. What you can do is you can put a hip hop rhythm on them. It gives them a bit more swing. A bit like that. So guys, let's have a quick listen to our final product here. We've gone in and we've successfully taken the drums from this trap song here, and it now sounds a little bit like this. Which is really, really awesome. It didn't take, it was almost effortless to go in and do this. Now, I actually went ahead and kind of built up a bit more of a kind of track around this here. So what I've done is I went and got some kind of bell sounds that just sounded a little bit like this. I've also got other kind of sounds, which are also kind of bell sounds that sound a little bit like this. And I went ahead and got this random kind of ambient noise that sounds a bit like this by itself. It's just thunder, just as there's a bit of background. And if you put it all together with those drums that we've just created there, make sure the top track is turned off, it sounds a little bit like this. So, as you can see, it takes literally minutes. Before you know it, you can go from not really having a clue about writing trap drums to being able to rip trap drums off your favorite track and recreate really cool hip hop sounding beats just like that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something. If you take these principles and go and apply it, you'll be able to rip drum patterns from any song you like out there, even really complicated trap beats just like this. All it is a little bit of practice. Now, as I said before, if you guys would love to learn more stuff about this, you're like, well, this looks really complicated. I teach all this stuff in a really simple and easy to follow way with some free training over at edmcoaching.com. So make sure you go and check that out. Also, if you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm now doing weekly videos teaching you guys more about music production as well. So subscribe to this channel by hitting this button here. If you want to go and check out EDM Coaching, make sure you hit that button down there. And finally, if you want to see some more cool production techniques just like this, why not go and watch one of my previous videos by hitting this button below. I'll see you guys in next week's video. Ciao!